We will discussion about facilitating user computing. We have a group member. There are Kak Raisa, and the second Najma Naira, and the third Salma Andriani, and the last me. Okay, let's going to presentation. Next, please. Okay, first of all, I want to tell you about the end users computing. First of all, we must to understand about the definition about end users. End user is synonymous with user. The user uses the end product of a computer-based system, and users computing arise due to four main influence, namely, first, the impact of computer education. The second, the queue for information service. And the third is cheap hardware. And the fourth is off the shelf software. Okay? For the end user need not be fully responsible for the development of the system, but should bear some of the responsibility. In many cases, users will work closely with information specialists in developing the system. And user computing have a related with the hand-on use of computers by employers, and then have a relating with the enter data, maybe a data quantitative or qualitative, and so on type of data. And the third is related for the make inquiries and prepare reports, and then develop web page and perform statistical analysis. And the last is analysis problems. I think end user computing have a function to make a solve problems based on the solution, based on the problem that will exist. End user are computing risks. The first one is poor system goals, and the second, poorly designed and document system, and the third, inefficient use of information resources, and the fourth, loss of data integrity, and the fifth is loss of security and loss of control. Okay, please next. Okay, end user computing have a primary drivers. The first one is availability of low-cost microcomputers. The first one is high-level languages, and the second is computer literacy among college graduate professional. And primary drivers of the end-user computing will increase user frustration about the new project backlogs. Okay, please next. Okay, the next is the development of the user application. The development of the application start for the use of the computer's tool. I think to operate all the tool that the application provide that wants of the development. And then the second is develop business application to envelop by the application and tools, and that to help to develop your business application. And then the third is users are not is specialists. And the last is involve application tool and developer. Okay, maybe for the next chapter, we'll explain it by member group. Okay, takes your time.
Okay, thank you, moderator. Uh, it's about advantage and disadvantage user developed application. The first is advantage user developed application. The first is increase user control over project. User developed application empower user to have direct control over the entire development process. They can define the project scope, design the functionalities, and customize the application according to their specific requirements. And second is increase user acceptance of solution. When users are involved in developing the application, they become more interested in its success. And the next is risk is research. User developed application reduce the burden on IT department and professional developer. And last is increase user knowledge of IT. User development application provide an opportunity for user enhance their knowledge and skill in information technology. Next is about disadvantage. The first, loss of quality control. User developed application might lack the rigorous quality control measure typically employed by professional developer. Next is increased operational risk due to develop turnover. When user development applications are primarily managed by individual user, there is a risk associated with turnover of the departure of this user. And the next is potential labor or times inefficiencies. Um, User developed application can require significant time and effort from users who are not professional developers. And last is loss of integration opportunities and capabilities. User developed application might not fully leverage integration opportunities with existing system or other application within the organization. Okay, the next is about characteristic application. The first scope. The scope of characteristic application refers to the extent of its functionality and the range of tasks it can perform. Next is critically or impact. Critically or impact an application refers to the significant and potential consequence for the user and the organization. Next is size and usage. The size of application pertains to the scale of the code-based data storage requirements and its infrastructure needed to support it. And next is problem complexity. Complexity. The problem complexity characterizes the level of intricacy and challenge involved in solving the problem of addressing the needs that the application aims to fulfill. And next is tools. The tools aspect of a characteristic application refers to the technology stage, development framework, libraries, or programming language used to build the application. And last is developer. Developer aspect of characteristic application consider the individual or team responsible for designing, building, and maintaining the application. Okay, the next is about extent of extentness. The first is isolation. Isolation refers to a state where an application operates independently and is not integrated or connect to other system or component. Next is standalone. The standalone system or application is one that operates independently without relying on external system or integration with other application. And last is manual integration. Manual integration refers to the process of connecting and exiting data between the different system or application through manual intervention or human effect. Okay, that's all from me. Back to moderator.
Okay, thank you for Kak Raisa. For the next explanation, we'll explain it by member groups. For Najma or Salma, take your time.
Next slide. So it's still in the extent of interconnectedness. So there are automated integration refers to application electronically connected with one or more database or application using automated scripts. And then there is distributed integration refers to application uses data created, stored, maintained by organization system under control of AI specialists. Next. So here's the guidelines for choosing deployment process. There is two row and column. Each of them consists different conditions that in the row it consists of developed by other users and developed for self-users only. And then for the first column is for small and simple, and the second column is for large and complex. So in the first square, which consists of developed for users and small and simple, it results of SDLC or prototyping discipline approach to definition and implementation. And then the second square consists of developed for other users and large and complex. It results on SDLC clear hands-off between phases. And then the third square refers to collapse life cycle. And then the fourth square is for discipline iterative development. Next. So there are three types in order to leveraging the end of user computing in organization level. So the first one, as you can see, is strategic objective and approach to end user computing. And then also there is technology, which consists of range and accessibility of end user store. And then also there is support and control action. It refers to support service, control policies, and procedures. Next. Now we're going to talk about evolution of information center. So in the stage one, there are reactive service. So reactive service means reactive customer service when you only address customer issues after they have already arisen. And then also individual solution, product training, all is supported. Computer-related training, that means a training to improve ability to perform basic tasks on the computer. And then one-way relationship, this one-way relationship, it's for the stage one. Next. For this slide, we'll going present by others members. Back to Johannes.
Okay, Salma Andriani, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Johannes. This chapter will presented by me. The title is Evolution of Information Center Stage 2. Proactive Service. Proactive service means the company initiates contact with the customer, while reactive service means the customer is the first to reach out. The two is departmental solution. It's to fulfill the information requirement of staff and students of the department, make the information source centralized and therefore easier to share and also integrated with the other system. And the third is business problem solving. Problem solving in business relates to establishing process that mitigate or remove obstacle currently preventing you from reaching strategic goals. High payoff needs supported. Then information literacy education. Information literacy empowers people in all walks of life to seek, evaluate, use, and create information effectively to achieve their personal, social, occupational, and education goal. Alliance is user or alliances. Next slide. Okay, thank you. Common supporters, com common support service. Troubleshooting is a systematic approach to solving problem. Consulting is the process of helping clients solve their most pressing business problem or issues. Training and is education. Training usually focus on developing specific skills such as spreadsheet use or customer service. Education provide more background knowledge about a particular topic. Product research and evaluating. And then information sharing describe the exchange of data between various organizations, people, and technologies. Tool selection and processing. The tools are what you will use to select portion. Purchasing refers to a business or organization acquiring goods or service to accomplish its goals. Tool install means the installation of the automated material handling system, process tool, and support tools are features used for semiconductor. Maintenance, otherwise known as technical maintenance, refers to a set of process and practice which aim to ensure the continuous and efficient operation machinery, equipment, and other types of assets typically used in business. Upgrading is to make improvement to something or exchange it for a better version. Next slide, Kak. Okay. Common policies and procedures. Generally, a policy will outline principles to follow while procedures are more detailed and spell out the steps necessary to complete a task or undertake a set of action. Usually, a procedure is likely to change more often than underlying policy. Common policy means the policy that may be established from time to time by the community in accordance with declaration of covenants, condition, and restriction. Policies and procedure are an essential part of any organization. Together, policies and procedure provide a roadmap for a roadmap for day-to-day operation. They ensure compliance with laws and regulations, give guidance for decision-making, and streamline internal process. There are data access, backup procedure, audit trails, documentation standards, unauthorized access, unauthorized software copy, virus protection. And there's also product standards, ergonomics, product purchase, inventory control, upgrade procedures, quality review, identify critical application data. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for Salma explanation. Okay, guys, maybe that's all explanation about the end user facilitating user computing by group 2. Maybe I want to say thank you for your listening. May all those we have shared be beneficial for all of us. Last but not least, thank you so much and good afternoon.